What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Ammo Box. Mike Henry, your host here, having a great night in Fort Worth, Texas. Beautiful Fort Worth, Texas, on a gorgeous night. Temperature is amazing, a little breezy. They got a big like happening event down the street from in the little neighborhood I live in. It's really cool. So I wanted to make a video about what it is that's been on my mind for a little while, right? Well, I shouldn't say a little while, for a long while. Whenever you start thinking through a process of doing something different, or trying something different, or trying something new, you have to always boil it down to a starting point, a definitive starting point. And what I find has been the downfall of a lot of people's plans. Mine included. Don't get me wrong, mine included, has been the fact that people don't value enough the principle of writing things down, taking a moment to physically manifest the things that you want or you need to do as it relates to whatever goals you want to accomplish, writing that down, manifesting it physically in front of you so that you can sit down and look at it and read it at least once a day. At least once a day. And I got that from a guy named Napoleon Hill. If you haven't read his book yet, do yourself a favor. Pick up Think and Grow Rich. Pick up Outwitting the Devil. Amazing books on mindset, entrepreneurial mindset, and self-awareness, self-reliance mindset. He's an amazing writer. But I got from him, one of the primary principles that I got from him was writing it down. And the first thing I did when I kind of realized what it was that he was doing with his books and saying with his books and trying to promote as far as a mentality or a habit. As soon as I realized what he was doing, I started writing things down. And once I started writing things down and actually referencing them on the regular, things started to happen, right? It's almost like winning has to be planned. It's almost like you have to make a conscious decision to do something to win, to beat the next guy, or to get to the next step of wherever you're going. And for me, it can be different for a lot of people, and I get there are some guys who never write anything down and who just skyrocket past everybody because that's what they do. Okay, great. Granted, yes, they do exist. They are rare. Stevie Ray Vaughan was a once-in-a-lifetime musician, right? Jimi Ray Hendrix was a once-in-a-generation musician, right? These guys didn't just... These guys were the blessed souls who could just figure it out and do it. All right, that's not the way it's going to be for everybody all the time in all things. Now, there might be something that you're that good at that you can parlay into whatever it is you're trying to do to set yourself up for being successful or being whatever it is you want to be. Right, but at the end of the day, if that's not necessarily if what you're trying to do is not necessarily directly related to that, the onus is on you to figure out a way to start the process of getting that good at what it is that you're trying to do. All right? And the only way that I found that you can logically do that and rationally and realistically do that is to write it down. You have to have that physical manifestation. You have to have that physical manifestation that you can go and reference. I still have my original one I wrote down 7 or 8 years ago when I first read his book. I wrote down the stuff that I was thinking, and I wrote down the ideas that I had, and I wrote down the goals that I wanted to do and how I wanted to interrelate with other people and getting all that stuff done. I wrote all that stuff down and I kept it. It's in my office right now. And every once in a while, when I'm thumbing through all the old stuff that I've got, I'll come across it. And I never throw it out. I always put it back where it is. And I never remember where it is 6 months later, a year later. But I know if I look hard enough, I can find it. But since then, I started the practice of writing everything down. Every time I start a new thing, every time I have a new venture idea, I write it down. If I can start the process by writing it down, I can finish the process. I can finish the process that I start. If I never start, now think about that. If I never start a process that I expect to finish, how can I logically expect to finish it? Write it down. If you're not writing it down, you're doing it wrong, folks. I'm telling you. Change the way that your life works around what it is that you're trying to get done by physically manifesting it on paper from your head to your hand to a piece of paper, and watch how things change. Make yourself accountable to yourself by physically creating a representation of what it is that you want. And I promise, with the right mindset and the right focus and the right methodology, there is nothing that can stop you. Nothing. All right, your nickel's worth of free advice. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all tuning in again. Keep an eye out. Sundays again with Sunday again with the Dad Pod will be, I think, a really fun experience. I got Josh, my man, coming back. I'm going to sit down on the couch and have a conversation. So y'all be on the lookout. Again, guys, thank you. We love you. Y'all stay humble, stay good, be helpful, be a leader. If you can be here, get here.